guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I have been trying to get back on here and it's been 3 months. So I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and jump right in with a birth story so you guys know like how that went. It was partly traumatic, but would I do it again? Yes. We have a healthy baby boy and I would do all of it all over again. But if you'd like to know how our birth story went, then go ahead and just keep watching. It's like 50 degrees here in Florida, so hot cocoa it is to keep me nice and warm as we do this little chat. If you hear anything in the background, my baby should be waking up from his nap pretty soon and my husband's gonna take care of him while I get this video done. But anyway, so let's see, like, where do we even start? Okay, so let's start on October 1st. October 1st, that was my due date. I made it to October 1st and there was no baby, and I was like, shoot, because I really didn't want to get induced. That's like something I was so afraid of, was just being induced. So I'm trying to get this baby out. I've been like walking, I was like eating all the things, all of the tricks to try to get this baby out, especially the walking though. I did tons of walking and drank tea and, you know, did all the things. But he did not come on the 1st. And then I think that was a Friday. Then Saturday happened, nothing. Then Sunday happened. And on Sunday, I noticed like a little bit of like, it not like my water broke, because that's the issue here in the story. I'll put a pin in that. But basically it was almost like just a little bit of discharge, I guess. It was clear liquid, but it wasn't super thick and it wasn't like super watery either. It was just kind of in the middle, and I'm like, okay, what's this? I expected when my water to break, or like when it would break, that it was gonna be just like this gush of water, just like in the movies, right?
Angie, I think your water broke. Wait, what? Your water is breaking.
So turns out, well, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so there's that. That's Sunday morning. And so I was like, you know what? Let me keep an eye on that. I didn't get anything. I was like dry for almost the rest of the day until later on that day. It happened again, like a little bit of discharge like that, but it wasn't consistent and it wasn't like a whole lot, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't really feel any different. I didn't feel any like contractions or even Braxton Hicks up until that point. Like my pregnancy, you guys, was literally, thank the Lord, it was so perfect. I experienced nothing like what other women experience, like nothing. I was able to sleep through the night. I hardly ever went pee throughout the night. I sleep on my side naturally, so it wasn't hard for me to like sleep on my side. No symptoms that were like crazy. Like I had a perfect pregnancy. So I was expecting, okay, I'm going to go into labor, like naturally it's going to be great, but that just didn't happen. That Monday, he was like a lot less like active, and so that was kind of weird. My husband was super on edge like this whole time. Like after October 1st, he was like on edge thinking that this baby was like something wrong, or like why isn't he here yet, like, what's going on. Anyway, so he said that if I didn't call the OBGYN, the doctors, that he was going to. So I went ahead and called them, just let them know like, hey, I was due on Friday the 1st, but baby's still not here, and I've got a little bit of discharge, like kind of watery, kind of not. I don't really know what's going on. He's not as active. And they said, you know what, just come on in just in case. It can't hurt. If anything, we'll just check you and then you can go home if everything's good. We did have an induction date set for the 7th. So they said, you know, if anything, we'll just have you come back on the 7th. So I went in and they checked me, and turns out my water did break. It just wasn't a gush of water at all. It was just like a little trickle here and there, like I explained. And yeah, so the issue with that was it had now been over 24 hours since my water had broke, and baby wasn't showing any signs of like coming up. So they kept me. So that was kind of scary, but also like exciting to be like, okay, yay, like I'm gonna be meeting my little baby boy soon. So I started feeling very much like not panicking, but like it was just, the whole thing was surreal. Like, holy cow, I'm gonna like pop out a kid. But anyway, so that happened, and it was a couple hours. They got me in. You know, I had already had my bags packed and everything, which was really nice. And so my husband brought those over. So I was able to change into my very super cute nightgown slash like hospital gown, which people told me like, don't do that, you're gonna get it ruined anyway. Like, I don't care. I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link down below for the one that I used. I got it. You can get it off Etsy, but you can also get it off Amazon, which is what I did because 2-day shipping. Okay, so it had been a few hours and there was like no action going on. So they decided to put me on Pitocin. So I got induced. That was really hard for me because I didn't want that. I really wanted it to happen naturally, but because it had already been 24 hours since my water broke and he still wasn't like showing any signs of like actively making his way out, they said, you know what, we gotta get you going. So they put me on the Pitocin. That was cool up until the contraction started. Then I was like, holy smokes, this hurts. Like, you guys, it hurts. Started getting some contractions, and at first like they aren't that bad. You're just kind of like, oh yeah, like I feel that. But then a couple hours into it, yeah, waves, and it was just like really uncomfortable. But I got to a point where I was able to take some medication that they offer. Take it. It definitely helps to lessen the pain. This is before the epidural. So before you can get the epidural, like you have to be a certain amount of like centimeters and stuff. And I just wasn't there, and the pain was already like, take the medicine if they offer it and you're like not comfortable being in that much pain, just take it. It does take the edge off things, and for the next hour, it was a lot better. But then that started wearing off, and I was freaking out that I was gonna have to like, that I was gonna like miss my epidural or something. Like, all I knew, and I told them this from the beginning, was like, look, I don't care what we have to do. I want an epidural. I want it as soon as I can get it. I don't want to feel a thing. I don't want to feel a thing. So very much pro epidural over here. Props to you if you can do it naturally. Like, that is amazing, and I'm like so happy for you. That's not me. Couldn't do it. I know my limits. As soon as I could get the epidural, I did. I remember, well, okay, this is kind of gross. So the very last contraction before getting the epidural was so painful. Like, so couple that with the medication that I had been given, that they gave me, the painkiller or whatever, I threw up everywhere. So I threw up on my nightgown, my cute one. So that was definitely a bummer. I suggest ordering 2. I did end up ordering another one afterwards because it's really great for nursing as well. But anyway, so I got changed back into the regular hospital nightgown, got into bed, and was able to get the epidural. The epidural was amazing. Like, so good. I just smile thinking about it because literally, first of all, the guy who did it was incredible. I didn't feel a thing. I didn't look at like the needle or anything. I was really just focused on trying not to move during like any contractions. But that part really just wasn't even that bad for me. I was able to, I held it together, and I was like, this is what you've been waiting for. It took forever to get to that point though. That was already, when did I get the epidural? I got it at like, I think 4 a.m. on Tuesday, so the 5th. So I had gone, and I got checked in on that Monday morning. So yeah, I had been going a long time. And still, baby, he was just not moving. I got to, I think like 6 centimeters. Yeah, 6 centimeters. And by mid-morning, or by early morning on the 7th, the doctors came in. This is where it got kind of scary because they came in and like, okay, look, whenever we up your Pitocin, your contractions, the baby, his heart rate just drops, and like that's obviously not healthy for baby. It's not good for me either. So they suggested like, hey, if we can't get him, and he was like stuck in my pelvis, so like he couldn't even make his way out. So for quite a long time, I used like this peanut ball that they gave me. It made kind of like the peanut ball was a little bit difficult because it was just dead weight that I had on me. So the nurses had to come, and like every few hours they would switch me to a different side or a different position trying to get baby out. But this little kid, he did not want to come out. So I remember the doctors coming in and the nurses, and I knew exactly what they were gonna say. Like at this point, it had been like 24 hours, and they said, you know, before this becomes like an emergency situation, we're gonna suggest that you get a C-section. Now, this is something like I literally didn't even think about the possibility of having a C-section. Like that wasn't even a thought. Like that was never going to happen to me. So when that was put on the table initially, like a few hours before, I just remember praying and crying, saying like, Lord, like this is not what I want. Please like provide a way, like just to do this naturally. I don't want the C-section. So I knew that the recovery time for that was really long, and then I just didn't want to, like I didn't want surgery. But that is not what happened, and the Lord is like, you know what, you can do this. I'm going to be with you. You have your mom, you have your husband. They were both with me the whole entire time, which was amazing. So yeah, so when the doctor said that was super heartbreaking, and I probably just like looked like a child, just in bed. I was silent as they were talking to me, telling me what was gonna happen, like how this works. Silent, looking down, and just tears were flowing. I couldn't make them stop. I was just devastated. I was afraid, and I was caught off guard. I'm very much like a planner, and this was not in the plans for me. But I just remember they got me ready, they wheeled me in, and then the anesthesiologist, he did his thing. He was really great. He was actually really nice too. He said, what kind of music do you want me playing? Like he took out his cell phone. It's probably because I was crying this entire time. He probably just felt so bad for this random woman. She's crying that she has to have a C-section. Anyway, so I asked him, I was like, yeah, go ahead, can you play like Christian music? And that really helped put me in a better headspace. I'm just praying in there, and then they make the cut, right? I don't feel anything, but all of a sudden I just remember like this overwhelming feeling of nausea. I was like, well, I am not gonna make it. I am not gonna make it, man. Like I'm gonna throw up again. And then the anesthesiologist just put like a pad of like an alcohol pad underneath my nose, and he's like, just sniff in, breathe out. And that took the nausea away for the most part, so that was nice. But then like there was this like literally undescribable or indescribable feeling of pain at my left shoulder. Oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. Yeah, that was not fun. And I just remember being so focused on that when they showed me my baby, like he came out, like he had to cry. Well, at first he didn't cry, and then he did. So like, thank God he did. And I remember feeling like such relief for that, but that was so like a moment in time, because then I was right back to like the excruciating pain that was in my shoulder. Oh no, I was just tired and really like just sick to my stomach too, like all the like the fluid that was pumped in me. I felt it was just a bad combination. And so anyway, it's sad that like I really didn't get to enjoy like a moment with my baby and like hearing him, and then without just being like, oh my gosh, please someone take away this pain. I was so focused on that for some reason. I remember then I didn't even get skin to skin. That was really sad too. I didn't get skin to skin because I had to take him, check him, and then they brought him to me to just like, you know, his little face here, and I was so out of it, really. Then they took him back and they did whatever they do, clean him off. My husband was with him, so that was really nice. And then there I was, just laying on the hospital table, like hands out, which by the way, they put you like hands out like this, straight out, and then they like strap your hands down. And thinking back on it and then seeing pictures, I'm like, oh, creepy. Anyway, once all of that was done and like they stitched me up and all of that, and I got to go back into the hospital room, or like our, you know, mother baby room, it was really nice. I got to hold him, and he was just the sweetest, cutest little peanut. He was 6 pounds 3 ounces. His name is Ezra. I haven't even said that yet. His name is Ezra, and we just love him so much. He's 3 months now, going on 4. Can't believe it. He's babbling and he's smiling so much more. We've been through quite the postpartum journey, so I'll probably do another video on that. But as far as our birth story, we actually ended up leaving just 2 days later. I did really well being able to like sit up, being able to walk, use the restroom, which by the way, like once the epidural like wears off, you like have to relearn how to walk again. It was the weirdest feeling. And then just having that surgery, that's like major surgery. I could not take a bath. I could not like use the restroom. All of that was so slow going. Like I needed help for all of it. It was just really humbling and really awkward. And it's just one of those things that you deal with. So that was something I didn't expect either. But I was really blessed to have my husband with me, and he really did help me, and it was just really fun to have baby, and just know that he's like perfect, and that he was here, and that he was healthy. He passed all his tests and all of that stuff. So really just thankful and grateful for him, and thankful for our story too, even though it wasn't how I wanted it to go or how I envisioned or how I prayed for. It all happened like it was supposed to happen, and the Lord was with us the entire time, and that's all I could ask, that we got a happy, healthy baby at the end of it, and we're just so grateful for him. But yeah, that is my slightly traumatic birth story. If you are a mama-to-be, like, do not be afraid at all. Your story is going to be unique to you, and it's going to be special regardless. So just keep that in mind, be open-minded, and just enjoy the journey. Yeah, thanks for listening to our birth story. And actually, you know what? Let me go grab Ezra. That way you can see him. He's so cute. Please hold. Hi, can you say hello? Is that a bright light? So, this is Ezra. Let me say hi, Mama. This is you. This is you. We're talking about your birth story. Can you say hello to the camera? Say hello. He's my little twin. So we just woke up from our nap. I wish I would have done this video 3 months ago, so I could have brought him in when he was just like the tiniest little peanut. Now I feel like he's so big. They grow so fast. Yes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or just like comments or anything, leave them down below. Until next time, you guys, I think my next video is going to be like a newborn essentials, because I've got some good ones. Okay. All right. Let's say bye-bye. You say bye? Bye. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!